On this episode of the Ask Will Show, I explain how to use social media to improve your sales numbers. Hello Sales Nation, it is episode 13 of the Ask Will Show and welcome. It's Friday. It's good for us because our commitments kind of died down on a Friday because we don't produce podcasts or the show on the weekend. That's the question for today actually, question for the comments below. Would you watch and listen and read the blog and the podcast and the video if we did it over the weekend as well? It's something that I've always been intrigued with. We've not experimented with it because it'd be very difficult to commit to it and then pull back without disappointing people who are into it. Because there's always going to be a small amount. But I'm interested to see what percentage of people would listen and watch work-related content at the weekend. I certainly do, but I might be a massive freak in that regard of loving sales and wanting to improve myself more than most. Don't know. So yeah, leave a comment below whether you're listening on or watching on YouTube or Facebook. It's Friday. Yeah, as I said, we kind of wrap up a bit earlier on a Friday. I say we, I don't. The team does because we're not going to put out any shows at the weekend. And I'm sick of hearing, and I'm going to mention it now, I'm sick of hearing people say Happy Friday. None of our team say it because they know it's a bugbear of mine. But why would you wish your life away like that? One, if you're in a job you don't like, then you're an idiot. You need to get out of it, or you need to embrace it and suck as much money and value and capital out of it so that then you've got a stepping stone to do what you want to do, whether that be sales or whatever. And two, yeah, why would you just wish your life away like that? It's beyond me. If people have like hump day, or it's only a couple more days to the weekend, and people say this, and I see it on our Instagram feed, and I follow a lot of you guys on Instagram, so it's you guys that are saying all this shit. Why would you complain about the week and your time not being there? I mean, if you're in a situation where you were literally trading 5 days of your life for 2 days at the weekend, if you're trading 5 days of work for 2 days, and you're totally wrong in what you're doing. You either need to and obviously you're listening to this, you work in sales, you need to find a sales job that you enjoy, a sales job that you're passionate about selling the products, or you need to just get out of sales, get out of my hair and stop complaining. With that said, let's jump in with the questions.
Chad asks, I'm a big fan of your podcast. It's part of my morning routine of a bagel, coffee and a podcast. Thank you for all the advice so far. I started my dealership in May and I've set up a website which links to my Facebook and YouTube pages. What strategy can I use to cast my advertising net out beyond friends and relatives?
Chad, thank you for your question, and yeah, thank you for taking up the challenge from yesterday's episode of asking questions on Facebook. Let's see more of that, guys. Come like us over at, I'll link us up here. Bing, 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 bing. Over at salesman or facebook.com/salesman.red. Chad, first off, I did a little bit of diving into you, your brand, your company, and the efforts you're making so far, and you are great on your YouTube channel. You need to do more. You're better than me at doing this whole Q&A thing. I think you're really fluid. You put your points across really well, and you've got an interesting voice, interesting tonality, and all stuff like that. So yeah, I think YouTube should be your play. You need to dive into this. So this is more marketing, but it's where sales is going. So it's an interesting question. That's why I wanted to answer it. I would get on your YouTube channel. I would start doing Q&As for the specific types of cars and trucks and vehicles that you're selling, but you need to do it for the local area. So you need some kind of leverage of when people come to you and perhaps they don't buy, get their email address or get them to write down a couple of questions on a card, answer the questions on the show like this, very simple, and then put it out and then email them the show. So then you've got that extra contact point. What that it would do would be making you the expert in your field locally, which is the hardest part of the internet. Ironically, the benefits are, for like me, with the sales school, when that launches in November, anyone in the whole of the world can access it. And the list that we've built for the pre-launch list So if you're not already and you're interested, go and sign up there, and you'll get alerts, and you'll get some back scenes info on what we're doing and who's involved and who's building it and all that kind of thing. And people from all over the world have signed up, which is the point I made of that. But the hardest bit of the internet is leveraging the internet to get local. This is going to happen more and more, and you're going to see the benefits of this if you do any Google AdWords spend or YouTube ad spend. The targeting is going to become more and more specific. But the platform for you to be concentrating on is YouTube for content, getting it out there. And then I would be using Facebook to build an audience very local who already own cars or have talked about cars and vehicles that you sell. You can do that through your Facebook ads. You can segment, and you can get very, very niche within a mile, 5-10 miles of your garage, your dealership. I would start building up the likes there, invest a bit of cash into it, a bit of time, then be linking to your YouTube videos into your Facebook. And that's how you're going to get that constant contact, which would have been 20 years ago, would have been you'd get their address and every 6 months you'd send them a postcard. Now you get their Facebook like, and every few weeks they get linked into a video, and that's how you're going to keep in touch, and that's how you're going to get beyond your friends and family. Obviously, your first point of call to get those Facebook likes, as well as the ads, which is dead simple, you'll absolutely nail it, you'll be all over it, is to get your friends and family to refer people to like your page.
Sarah asks, what is the best way to learn more about sales? Learn by doing, reading, videos, mentors. I'm stuck and I just can't reach that next level.
Sarah, thank you for your question. I know that you're very active on our Instagram profile, and so thank you for all the comments, and obviously we exchange and chat on there quite regularly. And in answer to your question, the best way to learn about sales, up until about a year ago, I would have said books. I still think 80% of sales is mindset and not necessarily skill-based. It's how much hustle you're going to put in, it's how effective you're going to be, and it's how many hours you're going to do, and that all comes from your mindset, and books are perfect for that. A bunch of Tony Robbins books. I'll link to some books in the show notes below this that'll be useful for you. I don't want to plug the sales school too much. I obviously linked to it in the last question. I will link to it again here. Bing! The sales school is what I wanted as a salesperson to improve. It is a bunch of online lessons, so you've got it's all video and audio content, so that if you are, I learn by doing more so than viewing or hearing, but obviously people learn different ways. So each lesson then has action points, which are the doing part, which I get a lot of benefit from. I get a lot of benefit from just going out there and smashing it and getting on with stuff. Some people need a lead up to that and a mindset change before they can do that. So that hits all them. But what's important, and the most important thing, and the thing that we all lack versus, if you're an athlete, you have a coach. The coach doesn't need to know more about sales than you. They don't need to be a better salesperson than you, but they need to be able to give you guidance and see from the outside in what's going wrong, what's going right, and give you feedback. So the most important part of the sales school, from my perspective, and why I'm not launching it now, I'm launching it after we've got enough time to build up a big enough list of people so that when we launch there's a big community already there, is a community. So there's going to be multiple aspects to this. It's all essentially a closed social network. So you have to be a member of the sales school to be involved in it, purely because I don't want time wasters and people who are not serious about improving their sales skills and increasing the amount of money they earn. I don't want people who are not serious about that involved within this bubble and this world that I want to create. So you'll be able to ask questions very, very simply to both me and all the experts involved. As I said, I don't consider myself an expert in any of this, but I'm a good facilitator in getting loads of experts on board in mindset, in influence. We've got someone talking about manipulation. We've got people talking about things like body language, how to cold call, how to set emails, copywriting. Every single skill you need as a salesperson is covered. I guarantee it, and it's only going to get more lessons added over time. So all those experts are also in the forums, in the community, in the social network, communicating back and forth. You also have got the opportunity then to partner up with other people within the community and essentially give each other a good kicking when you don't hit your targets. And it doesn't have to be your sales financial targets, it can be I'm going to make 10 cold calls every day. Simple as that. There's going to be people in the community, in the forum, that will say, I also want to make 10 cold calls every day. You will partner with them, and then a quick message at the end of the afternoon when you're both closing down, you're both wrapping up, you're about to drive home. All that message needs to be is, have you done it? John, did you do it? Yes, Frank, yes I did. Did you? No. And that disappointment will be enough for the next day to give you a kick in the arse and make you get done. I guarantee it. And this all comes about because companies are not putting enough time and effort and resources into the sales team. It's kind of a difficult one to measure, and that's why it isn't happening. And so I want the sales school to be that extra, that boost for people that aren't getting it. And that is it. That is the end of this episode of the show. It's Friday. Make sure you get a bit of rest over the weekend. Make sure you do a bit of hustling as well. Remember, none of your competition is working this weekend. Any extra time you put in is confounding massively over the course of a year. I will be in the office on Sunday. I'll be doing some emails. I like coming in on Sunday because I get to send a crap load of emails and not get any replies. So I actually get my email massive backlog down slightly. Obviously it bounces back on Monday and is bigger than it ever was, but that's why I will be here on Sunday. And question for the comments, will you be working this weekend? Leave a comment below. You keep asking your sales questions, I'll keep answering them.